Hello, how you all doing, Mike Bradley? I hope you're doing well as always. So, my new little baby needs a good string up, and I thought while I'm doing this I would talk to you about the differences between Gibson scale length guitars and Fender scale length guitars. So, without going into too much theory, because it's just unnecessary, but you know, layman's terms, the Strat or Fender, you know, Fender type guitars have longer scale lengths. Basically, the length of the neck is longer, which means the strings are tighter. Okay, and then with Gibson scale length guitars, they're shorter. So you will get a lot of people who are used to playing Gibson guitars more. They'll say, oh, no, when I go to Fender it's a lot harder to play and all that kind of stuff. You will hear those kind of comments in forums and, you know, comment section boxes and all that kind of stuff, you know. And of course it is, because, you know, say if you're used to playing, I don't know, say 9s on a Gibson, next to a Fender, if you put 9s on it and you're used to 9s on the Gibson, the 9s on the Gibson will be a lot slinkier. And then so in a way I look at it as like, if you're playing 9s on a Fender and 9s on a Gibson, if you're from the Fender point of view, it's like an 8 on the Gibson, 8 gauge on the Gibson, if that makes sense. Now when I got, I don't know, guitar bloody everywhere here, hang on 1 second. Now, when I got this old friend, I've had her quite a while now, since 2003. And I use 10s on my Fenders. You know, I've grown up playing Strats, you know, pretty much from the get-go. Well, I had a Telecaster, a copy Telecaster when I was about 12. But after that it's been pretty much Strats, you know, and Tellies to the point. So when I got this, when I was about 19, I liked it, of course, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. But it felt weird when I was kind of playing, you know, like it was too skinny. And then after probably a couple of years of having the guitar, I thought, let me just put some 11s on. And boom, you know, like it was so much better to play. I felt so much more comfortable playing it. So basically, whatever set you have, if you've got Fender guitars and Gibson guitars, whatever set you have on your Fenders, try going up a set on the Gibsons. Now, so what I mean by that, I've got 10s on my Strats and Telecasters. So with my Gibsons, I use 11s. Now with Alan McFly, she, it's so weird having a guy's name and calling her she, but this guitar has come with 10s, alright? And it's nice, it feels nice, and I'll tell you what, I don't usually use Didarios, but this is what the guitar came with, pretty sure it's Didarios anyway. And, well, it might actually make sense if it was Gibson strings, actually, it makes more sense. This guitar, I believe, was made in March 2015, so just shy of a year. And the strings are still pretty good, you know, and I played it a lot. I mean, they're slowly dying. But they've lasted very well. But the guitar feels absolutely beautiful. But when I'm bending, I've got to kind of watch on the bends. I feel like I'm over bending too much because it's 10 gauge on it. So I'm going to whack on some 11 gauge Roto sounds, which I've used for years and years. And I'll just forward chat away while I'm doing it. Now, a very annoying thing I've just realised. Somehow my string winder in this room has gone missing. It's usually on my man table here, and I completely forgot, otherwise I would have bought one from I've got one at mine and I've got one at my mum's house. I've got 2 at my mum's house, but not one here, which is my main guitar room. But hey-oh, so I'm gonna have to do the old-fashioned way. Oh, it's annoying! Now, I very rarely clean my guitars. I'm quite lazy like that. Plus also, you put a lot of work into it, you know, like all the sweat and grime. People pay good money for that, you know, all the kind of relic guitars. I've got no scissors, so I need to do the old... yeah, people pay money for like that kind of dirty, grimy look, you know, so Nah, but saying that, you do need to clean it now and then, but this doesn't need clean. But like I say, with this, I don't really want it beat up just yet. I do miss the days when string manufacturers had single packets on their strings, but being environmentally friendly and all, I understand why. I've never had a guitar with nylon saddles. I remember actually, this guitar has nylon saddles. I remember seeing an interview with Joe Bonamassa when he was talking about his signature Les Paul, and how he noticed that Clapton had on his 335 nylon saddles, and that they give a slightly, especially on I believe the high strings, give it, oh, it's not a Fender mic this way, it gives it a slightly yeah, mellower sound. It takes the top end off a little bit. Oh, this is so annoying! Where's my string? If anybody has a spare string winder, if they would like to send it to to me, I would be most grateful, as this is a pain. I haven't had to do this in years without a string winder. But yeah, so Bonamassa was saying that there you go. Bonamassa was saying that, you know, Clapton had that and he tried it on his Les Paul. I think he just put it on the top 3 strings, I believe. And yeah, they're interested. I remember my mate saw it, was like, why's it got plastic saddles? I was like, it's the tone, man, it's the tone. On my Les Paul, on the headstock, it's got all little lines where I kind of, you know, where the strings kind of go up it and that kind of stuff when I'm changing strings. And obviously with this, it's kind of weird because I don't mind my guitars being dinged, you know, that's just life, you know. We get dings along the way, don't we, as we go down this crazy journey called life. And yeah, so I don't mind my guitar. I like them looking kind of beat up, you know, but I don't think I'd buy a relic, an actual natural beat up guitar. But with this guitar, I want a white one. Where did I put the white one? There it is. With this guitar, I'm still really babying it, and in a way I don't like the fact that I'm babying it, and I don't know how long that will last for. Let's just give this a bit of dust. It has received its first little ding, a very tiny ding on the headstock, so as time goes on, I'll be less temperamental with it, but I certainly don't intentionally try and ding up guitars. Just play the heck out of them. Turning, turning. It's actually a good ear training as well, changing your strings, not relying on a tuner. As you've seen me, I'll kind of listen to the note and do it that way. And about saying that, as you can see as well, I'm not taking all the strings off at the same time because it doesn't, the neck doesn't really like that. Of course, you know, every kind of couple of months, if you've got a, especially on a rosewood fingerboard, it gets a bit gunky. Well, actually, on a maple, so of course you need to give it a good clean and whatnot. But you know, if you're only doing it once, twice a year, that's fine. But yeah, every time you just do one at a time if you can. Some people think, oh no, it's fine, but I'm a strong believer of one at a time. So yeah, one string at a time will get you there safely. Don't touch the headstock, I don't want to scratch it. Now hopefully as well, I don't need to do any neck adjustments, obviously because it's thicker strings. So I'm guessing I'm going from 10 to 46 to these 11 to 15, I think. Oh, 11 to 48. So yeah, not a, it's just a little tiny uppage in gauge, you know, but every little bit counts, you know what I mean, boys? In tune. So how is all? Let me know how you've been. What are you up to? As I mentioned in my last video, so what one do I need now? I need a red one. As I mentioned in my last video, I'm going to LA in a couple of weeks, which I'm very much excited for. So if you haven't already, if you haven't already, let me know some cool hotspots in LA. That's if you live in LA. You know, if you live in, I don't know, Japan, then obviously you can't really give me some advice. But when I go to Japan, I'll be asking you for advice, you know. Actually, I've seen some videos over time and that, and Japan actually looks like it's got some incredible guitar shops. And I love guitar shops. It's almost like going, if you go to a good guitar shop, it's almost like going to church, you know. Which sounds kind of strange, you know. I remember being a younger kid, and I would cycle miles to guitar shops. You know, I'd find out there's a guitar shop in a town near me or something like that, and I would just cycle there, and I would finally get to my destination, and I wouldn't try a guitar out. I'd be too nervous to kind of ask, never mind, you know, play one in a shop. I'd be really nervous to just ask someone, you know. And I remember, one second. I remember, you know, shop assistants and whatnot would come up to me and say, "Oh, you right there? You right there, lads?" You know. And I'd be like, "I'm fine, I'm fine." And I would just stand there and I would just look at the guitars, you know. I'd just stare in awe at them. And then I'd be in there for I remember once going to Bootleg, actually ironically in Epsom, where I actually live now. And yeah, I remember going to a place called Bootleg, and where I met Roger Lunt, who is my little guitar mechanic man. And but I would be in there and I'd just be staring at the guitars, and I'd be in there for like an hour sometimes. And this is a small shop, probably not much bigger than this room. You know what I mean? And I was just there, just staring at the guitars in there, like, you know, I don't know, Excalibur or something like that. You know, I just used to just love, absolutely just love going to a guitar shop, and that still hasn't changed. You know, when I go in a guitar shop now, I just get, no, a good guitar shop this is, you just get that kind of warm, feeling, you know. And I don't like playing too many guitars actually in guitar shops, in case I like it too much. Example right here, you know. Oh baby, you can go and love yourself, and if you think that I've got that Justin Timberlake, Justin Bieber song stuck in my head. It's actually annoyingly quite good. Have you seen it? Or heard it, sorry. Now, with the 6-string, it's always a tricky one, because I don't like it going, a bit more slack. I don't like any of my strings being untidy. So I always will kind of leave my finger pushed down there and won't take it off, so it all kind of hooks around nice and neatly. And unfortunately I haven't got 2 cameras here, so I can't do a close-up on it so you can see, but trust me, it's going around neatly. Well, I'm going to give her a stretch and a little string up, and we will hear the sounds. I just put my amp so it's on and the valves are getting nice and warm. Look how close I am, like, being careful putting the lead in still. Oh, it's so not me. So this is what you should do. You should tune it all up, and then I will stretch out the strings. So that's all tuned, and I'll go back to the first string, stretch it, it goes flat. Then I usually just push down like on the first fret and stretch it. Now of course the little worry is like, will I still love the guitar with 11 gauge strings on now? Now I've upped the gauge. I usually have a little thing as well where I've got lots of little things. Oh god, that could be rude, couldn't it? Not there. But I usually will string, once I put new strings on, I won't cut the ends off until the following day. Of course there are rules of that exception, like if you've got a gig that night you need new strings, like when I've done tours or whatnot, and then I need to change it that day for that night's performance, then of course, you know, you just stretch as much as you can and do what you do. But in an ideal world I like to leave the ends on for like a day for the strings to sit in. But for the benefit of this video, I shan't do that, and I will cut it off, but because it's got no floating bridge here, it's a nice fixed bridge, it will keep its tuning a bit better. You know what, I'm going to leave the ends on for the moment, but let's plug her in and see what I think. I haven't played guitar at all today. Yeah, I can notice a difference. But I've got a lot more control now on that bend. It's just got a nice bit more kind of fight back to it, which I like. Obviously I've been playing this guitar a lot, so it's kind of like, oh okay, I can feel it's different, so it just takes a little minute or two to adjust, but I'm happy. Oh, it sounds great, man. Anyway guys, hopefully, like I say, bit of a random vlog jumble of words coming out of me, but like I say, the benefit of just if you've got Fender guitars and Gibson guitars on your whatever you use for your Fender, so if you use 9s, if you use 10s, on your Gibsons use 10s or 11s, you know, if you use 9s put 10s on the Gibson, if you use 10s on the Fenders put 11s, and etc etc, you know. So yeah, on the outset you think, god, 11 gauge strings, you know, but they kind of feel like 10s on a Fender, you know, maybe 10.5, maybe something like that. But yeah, 10s on a Gibson for me basically feel like 9s, you know, they're quite very slinky. And if you prefer that, cool. But I like a little bit of give, you know, especially because I'm left-handed as well, so my strong hand is on the neck. So I can get a little bit nuts when it comes to bending, you know. So hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comment section below what you think, and if this is helpful, and if you've given it a go and what you think. And as always, remember, every Wednesday and Friday I post a new video. So thanks all very much. Have a fantastic week and weekend, and I will see you next week. Mike Bradley signing out.